Hi friends, I'm Shilpa Ghosalkar. I'm a food technologist by education. 20 years of experience in food industry, mainly into quality and food safety. Today I'll give you an overview of importance of sanitary design and sanitation control in the food industry. Why sanitation? One of the core principle of food industry is how do we supply safe and consistent product to the consumers. If you look at a lot of the crisis situation, incident managements which we have in market, most of them are on account of poor sanitation, GMP practices, poor equipment controls, poor process and ingredient controls. Sanitation really plays a direct role on the food safety and hence consequences to the business. What is sanitary design? Sanitary design is really a design techniques which are applied to equipments and infrastructure which helps timely and effective cleaning of our manufacturing assets. I'll talk about some principles of sanitary design. So sanitary design, there are 7 principles which we really follow in industry. The first one is really separation. The important aspect in this, how do you separate raw from the ready to eat? It could be through zoning, it could be through people, man, material movement, it could be through air and ventilations. So it's very important principle to separate the raw and the ready to eat portfolio. Second principle is really cleanability. The equipments and infrastructure which we have in the manufacturing setup has to be cleanable, and that's the second principle of the sanitary design. The third principle is really smooth and accessible surfaces. If you have rough surfaces, there is definitely a harborage areas and it can create a microbiological risk. So important is smooth and accessible surfaces. Just a small example, when we do welding in the industries, we always promote continuous welding versus the spot welding, because spot welding can create rough surfaces and can give you the harborage areas. The next principle is really self-draining. Whenever you design equipments, it has to be self-draining, so there are no dead legs which can accumulate the material and can create a microbiological risk for you. The next one is really joints and the frameworks which we use in the manufacturing setup. We need to ensure that there are no gaps, there are no holes which can create the harborage area from the sanitary design standpoint and create the microbiological risk for the manufacturing setup. The last and the most important principle is really proper ventilations and the utilities which we have. We need to ensure the air which is in the environment of the manufacturing, in the product contact, is filtered and the right design. You need to ensure the utilities of the right design so that it can give you the right temperature, humidity control required for your product and hence the safety of your product. So these are some of the principles of sanitary design and how it is applied in industries from design to commercial. Before even procurement of an equipment or building a facility, we built in these design principles into the project. We ensure that when we execute this on the shop floor, the execution is helping us know further issues which can create a food safety or microbiological risk for us. And finally, we definitely do validation of the programs. So design to commercial, we really do end-to-end process for ensuring sanitary design is built into the manufacturing setup to help reduce your physical, biological and chemical hazard across. It's the important part. And sanitation control is really a partner to sanitary design which helps keep your system clean. So many industries follow different practices in sanitation control. Could be clean in place, it could be clean out of place, it could be dismantle the equipment, it can be in the place of dry cleaning, some industry follow the wet cleaning. So there are different sanitation programs which are very important and we need to follow that in the manufacturing setup. So team, my only message is as a food industry, we need to be proactive versus reactive. So let's ensure that we build in right design, we execute the right processes and we produce safe products for our consumer. Thank you so much.